Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Eoghann Stevens, of course, who is the head boys basketball coach at Livonia Stevenson. How's it going?
It's going great. Going great. We just got out of practice about 30 minutes ago, so it was a great first practice of the year.
Okay, so obviously now that your team is set, obviously you've looked at one practice, but obviously you've seen seen a lot of these kids, are very familiar with them. But what overall, how excited are you for the season and getting ready for it?
Yeah, we're really excited. The whole coaching staff is really excited for this year. We got some great young men in our program. Really, really good basketball players, but just from top to bottom, all good people that make fun practices. They come in, they compete. Every year we always have battles on the floor. They go at each other. But this year we've really got a group that love to get on there and just go at it during practice. And we've had some amazing basketball just in the last 2 hours of practice. We had some really, really good plays that were just looking not normally for your first practice. This is normally like a couple of days in. So it was a great start.
For sure. So kind of talk about, I like to ask this, this is the opportunity to tell the YouTube world who's returning for you guys and just some names to watch.
Definitely. So we have a returning all-conference player, Lucas Young. He made the conference team last year. He's about a 6'4" forward, but big body, and can shoot the ball really well. So we're really excited for him. He's going to be one of our stronger pieces this year. Sort of played a bit of a secondary role in our offense last year, but was really going to be taking the lead this year with his ability. And then we have a good junior group as well. We've got Mark Stein, who was an honorable mention last year, coming back. He's kind of a slasher forward as well, but he's improved his shot so much over the summer. He was at 6 a.m. workouts pretty much all day or every day before the season, and then towards the end of the season as well last year. He's just a workhorse that gets in the gym and just doesn't stop going. His motor is unbelievable. And then we just got a lot of other players that are all going to have important roles this year. We've got a roster of 12, and all 12 are going to make an impact. We've got Chuck Davidak, big football player for our football team. He's going to kind of control the middle for us as well. And then we've got John Toth that's going to roll in with him as well. And then senior-wise, we've got some great seniors coming back. Nate Curtis, Beatty Way, Dom Jensa. They all had roles last year, but they were less in terms of minutes. And I think this year they're really going to step up into that expectation that we have for them. Nate Curtis looked great today. He's fast, strong. He's a multi-sport athlete, and I think he's going to do really well.
Yeah. So there's a lot of I know you've only gotten a chance to watch these guys once, but overall, but you've seen these guys. Most of them played during fall ball, obviously not the football guys. But overall, what do you like about your team right now?
I think that we are going to be able to shoot the ball with anybody in the conference that we match up against. We've got a lot of great shooters and that put the time in to make sure they see their shot go in. So I think we're going to be able to shoot with anybody else that we match up against. And then just the athleticism and the lankiness that we've got. We've got a lot of players around that sort of like 6'3", 6'4". We don't have any big players. I think our biggest player in the program is in our JV this year at 6'8". I think our tallest is 6'4", but we have about 4 or 5 players that are 6'4", long, lanky, and fast, and can move really well. So it's going to open up sort of a different type of game that we've been playing previously, where we can push the ball down the floor fast. We can try and get some presses going as well, and then 1 through 5 can put the ball up. So that's always a good thing to have.
Yeah. So, what a lot of people may not know about, people that may not know about you YouTube wise, is that you got an interesting basketball story yourself, of course, coming from England as an 18-year-old, but overall kind of talk about that experience and coming to America.
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience. So I came here when I was 18. I played 1 year of high school at Albion Senior High. And then from there went to Jackson, and then 2 years at Jackson Community College, and then 2 years at Madonna. So I played under Noel Emmenheiser and Adam Kerf at Madonna, who have been awesome for my basketball coaching career. They've been good mentors to me, and they're really great resources to have, when you have one of those games that didn't go the way that I planned or we planned, to give them a call and they can sort of give me some insight. But just seeing a different side of the game and getting to really live out my dream. In England, basketball is not a big thing. If you want to play basketball, your aim is to get to America to play. So me and a couple of friends got that opportunity, and we're very fortunate now to be able to actually coach it at the high school level. It was my dream to get to play at high school in America, and now I get the opportunity to coach. So it's a dream come true, and it's something that we don't take for granted as a family. We put in a lot of time to make sure it works because we're so fortunate to be here.
All right. Well, let's talk about, we've talked to some coaches on the west side of the division. We haven't had a chance to talk on the east side with for the boys, from the boys' perspective. We've talked to several, of course, on the girls' side. But overall, how do you think the league's going to, I mean, it's going to be another one of those tough leagues. I mean, it's probably going to be, probably the Wayne Memorial and Belleville are probably going to be the two teams to beat. But really, as we've learned in the KLAA, especially on the west side, anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah, I agree completely. And Belleville's always going to be a force. We know what they're bringing. They bring a lot of talent every year. They got people that play basketball all summer. And Adam does a great job with them over there, really getting them into a system. And they play high quality basketball. So we know every time we go to Belleville, it's going to be a battle, and we've got to bring our best game. But there is just a lot of depth. Dearborn's been on a roll since they brought Mike in. He's really changed that program around and changed their game. They play a very fast-paced game now, so we know we really have to be ready for them. And then Franklin's going to be real strong again this year as well. They didn't lose too much. They're bringing back a couple of their best players. So I know TJ over there does a good job with them and gets them to play tough basketball. And then just throughout the conference, every team we go, Dearborn's always going to be, Fulton is always going to be just physical, tough basketball. They come in and they bring their A game, and they always want to beat Stevenson, and they come in, they play physical. So we know that everyone we go against they've got the opportunity to beat you if we don't bring our best game that night. So we try and bring that into practice, where we stress perfection in everything we do. It's high school, so we don't always get it, but we're slowly building it up because we know that every single game matters. You can't afford to drop a road game or drop a home game. You need them at the end of the season.
So let's talk about your schedule so far.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those first few weeks. I know this week there could be some. I know this is kind of the week where you kind of get to have the practice with, and also with how the schedule changes with the MHSA moving everything back. Overall, I'll just kind of talk about your slate of games in December. Some of who you got to start off the year before we head into conference play in.
So we try and use our non-conference to schedule some different teams as well, because the KLA is, we play the same teams twice, and across it. And if we play the east side as well, we kind of know what we're getting. So we've got Plymouth Christian that we wanted to play and see that opportunity there. Our first game, who we open up away on the road at them. And then we play Crestwood at Little Caesars Arena. So we're going to play them on the Saturday 10th. So that's always a fun opportunity to get down and play on the big show court at the LCA. So Crestwood's going to be a tough game. We know what they bring. Again, they bring a physical basketball. They bring high IQ, and they can always shoot. So that'll be a fun game. We also have South Line, bringing in South Line. So they're under a new head coach. Now I actually played basketball with at Madonna. So Jeff Schmitz is over coaching in South Line. So that'll be fun to play him and see how he's doing, because I used to teach in South Line as well. So I know a lot of these kids. So it's fun having that opportunity to get to see these kids roll through and getting to play against someone that, I know really well. Then we open up conference play with Brighton for the crossover. So we open them at our place right before Christmas break. And then over the Christmas break, we have Novi and Salem. So we've got a lot of different style basketball teams that we like to see. There's some teams in there that play a very run and gun, fast pace, and we've got some teams in there that slow it down and they play physical. And we really want to see that in our early games, just so we can see lots of different types of basketball, because we do see it in the KLA. You got your run and gun teams, you got your great shooting teams, you got your slow it down and run a set team. So it really gets us going and getting us ready for that long conference play.
Yeah. So, and then also just, what do you want to see out of your team these first few games, you think?
Definitely. So I'm building a lot of confidence. We've got a lot of roles to fill. We lost some big seniors last year. Canoli Jones is now playing at Schoolcraft, and he was our top scorer last year. And the ball came through his hands pretty much every possession. He was having games where he was scoring 30, 40 a game. So losing that offensive ability, we're just filling in those roles. And we're not worried that we can fill it. It's just going to be much more spread out this year. So it's getting that confidence, seeing the ball go through the hoop and understanding that that's the shots they need to take. And just getting rid of the force shots. Fall ball and summer ball. It's a lot more freedom than they get necessarily in the season. There's a lot more shots going up that might not be the best shots. So just learning what we want to see and how to run our offense. We try and give a lot of freedom to our players and let them make the decisions on the floor. But it's just a lot of learning these early weeks so they get that freedom when we actually get into the games.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck this season for the Spartans.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And thank you for what you're doing for the KLA. We do really appreciate it.